Welcome to this edition of Online TV. I'm your host, Mr. Jeff Mann, and I'm a Senior Information Security Consultant at Online Business Systems. Online is a digital transformation and cybersecurity consultancy company. For nearly 35 years, we've been working with clients throughout North America on a range of IT, business, and security projects and programs. Today, we are talking to Maryann Douglass, who's a senior consultant in our risk, security, and privacy practice. She's also one of Online's Women Cyber Warriors, who's co-presenting a presentation entitled "You Can Get There From Here: The Stepping Stones for Reaching Your Goal of a Job in Cybersecurity." Maryann, welcome to Online TV.
Thanks, Jeff.
Very briefly, Maryann, could you just share with us how you got your start in cybersecurity?
Sure. I had previously had 30 years at a Fortune 500 retailer, and I was responsible at the end of my career for implementing the PCI DSS assessment program.
Okay.
So I had a lot of project management, process management, compliance skills, and I was able to use that to move into a new cybersecurity role. And what I did was I took that process skill that I had and helped other companies get through their PCI assessments. And then I worked on getting my QSA certification so that I'm now on the dark side and I'm doing the assessments instead of helping people get through their assessments, getting prepared for them. And that's how I ended up here at Online.
And you call it the dark side because you spent so many years on the other side of the table from QSA.
Yes.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair
I mean,
enough.
you always think when you're in compliance that they're the other side, right? That they're trying to, you have got to accommodate what they're asking for on the other side.
Right, right. So in terms of this this talk that the Women Cyber Warriors have put together, how'd you get involved in that particular project?
So when some of the women in our RSP practice started talking about how do we make a difference to help other women move into cybersecurity, as we did, we all came from different pieces of businesses and got into cybersecurity a different way. But as we talked about it, I knew that the majority of my IT career was in operations support or compliance. And I grew up in a world that had different positions and I had different responsibilities. But a lot of the time I found that I was the only woman at the table. That's starting to change now, but I wanted to help continue that growth and encourage women to make the move into cybersecurity.
Great. So in terms of the presentation, what part are you taking on? What's your topic?
So my area of focus is to talk about all the different positions there are in cybersecurity. I pulled some of the job postings to talk about the experiences and the skills that are needed to move into those positions, because I want women to know that there are a lot of different jobs out there. Moving into cybersecurity does not necessarily need to be a specific technical job. By reviewing the different jobs, I try to show women that there are so many opportunities to support cybersecurity, and they can find a position that best meets the strengths that they have.
What's an example or two of what you would consider a cybersecurity position that isn't necessarily a technical role?
Well, one position I think is a good example is one that I've held in the past, and someone who's a project manager. A person manages a project. They may not necessarily be in security, but they still have the project management skills. They're able to take a project from cradle to grave and bring it to a successful implementation. And what that project manager can do is take those skills that they have today, the business skills, the communication skills, the writing skills, and transition those to support cybersecurity projects. Cybersecurity groups need to implement projects just like any other business, and a project manager can do that successfully in cybersecurity.
Sure, and those that are in the technical roles, they certainly don't have a reputation for being strong in sort of the organizational aspects of their roles.
That is so true.
I can see that being helpful.
Tech people are not always process oriented, so bringing somebody in who's strong with process skills can help that team greatly.
Right. So Sherry Collis had introduced this whole segment talking about the presentation, and she'd mentioned that one of the fun things about the presentation is you women can tailor it to different audiences depending on who you're focused on. Is there a particular audience that that's sort of near and dear to your heart that you want to reach out to?
So the one group specifically that I speak to in the presentation is mid-level positions. That people that are in mid-level positions today that want to move into cybersecurity. Right. I did that, so I want people to know that if they're in a mid-level position and they want to move into cybersecurity, they don't have to start from scratch. A person can move laterally from one position to another with the strengths they have. They just need to build some of the technical skills they have, and they can do that along the way while they're looking for a new position. And they also can do that while they're in their new job. There are so many mid-level cybersecurity positions that a person can transition into without having to start from scratch.
Interesting. Well, I want to thank you for helping us to get a better understanding today of you can get there from here. Look forward to our audience. Look forward to future episodes of Online TV. We're talking to all the women involved in this project, all the women cyber warriors, getting their vision and their take on the presentation. So thank you for joining us today.
Thanks. Thanks for having me.